All right, guys. Captain Paul here with my twin brother Pete.
Hey guys.
We live aboard our 50-foot trawler down here in the Florida Keys. We've been here for about over a year now, Chief.
Yeah, a little over a year. Yep.
Anyway, today is episode 75. And what I really want to talk about today is the boat market. Get back into the boat market a little bit because the main ship 400 is under contract.
Yeah.
The 27 Ranger sold.
Yep.
Everything we have sold. The 29 Ranger actually sold, but it just didn't make it through its survey.
Yeah.
So now, and we're getting some work done from that survey, and now I think it's ready to go back on the market. Now they just pulled some oil samples, so we start getting a little more aggressive with that one again and get that one sold. And then the big surprise to me was Mike with Blue Max.
Oh, jeez.
What a nightmare. Anyway, so I want to talk about that boat a little bit because it really kind of explains the market and where we're at in this market. Because what happened with Mike says, "Hey, I want to sell Blue Max and I want to get into a, like
next
a
size
bigger 50-45 DeFever type boat." And he actually went and looked at a famous YouTube one. I think Aqua something, Aqua Water, whatever it was. Anyway, so Mike jumps. We put Blue Max under contract. And then the guy, before he left the boat that day, he tells me, he goes, because when you look at Blue Max, new air conditioner, new floors, new this, new that. I mean, you could tell that somebody
spent a lot of time, money.
Yeah, somebody that put $30,000-$40,000 into a boat, because what happens here, and it happens so often, a lot of these people a lot of these boats were bought during COVID or even before COVID a little bit, so they've owned for 3 or 4 years, and a lot of these boats just sit. And if there's an old saying in RVs and boating: use them or lose them.
Yep.
And a lot of these boats just sit, and then they get neglected. And then these owners try and sell them. They've never put a penny into the engine room. They've never put a penny into keeping the outside of the boat up. They've never put any money or maintenance into the boat. And then they try and sell it. These boats were selling, but now that has stopped altogether. So what happened, because Mike was looking for a boat for 3 years before he found Blue Max. And then finally, him and his wife just kind of fell in love with that boat.
Yeah. And trying to get a boat through survey anymore is like
it's almost like pulling teeth out of a grizzly bear, a live grizzly bear. It's so ridiculously hard because there's just so much neglect on these boats. Yeah. So Mike goes, he looks at the DeFever, and what do you think happened, Chief?
He got very disappointed.
He said it was so bad that he couldn't even like
he couldn't see past it.
Yeah, he just couldn't. I mean, the engine room was just a rust bucket, and it smelled like diesel, smelled like sewage. He goes, you couldn't, and it scared him so bad. He came running back to the boat. And he canceled the contract because you're in that 3-day clause, and he goes, "I'm not selling the boat. I can't sell the boat."
Yeah.
And because he doesn't want to start over.
It's a lot of work.
And then he saw like he's going to pay a lot more for one of these DeFevers, which to me, DeFevers, these are overrated boats. They sell supposedly for a lot of money, and especially the older ones, they just don't survey well. I've never got one through a survey. Ever. There's always too much moisture damage or something like that on them. And a lot of these people think they're worth like $200,000, like an 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. They're not. It's just not there.
Yeah.
The boats, they're and then when you get one that's neglected, like the Aqua one, I wouldn't say it's neglected. It looked really good in the video. I watched the YouTube video of it, and it looked really, really good. But Mike says, "Man, when you got up there and got close, woo!" He goes, "It was a whole different world,
looking like Dracula."
Anyway, it scared him so bad that he ran back, And he said he canceled the contract, and so Blue Max sold, but it didn't sell, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so his plans are he's just going to keep going with it. And
for the record, the first person that was a buyer that walked on
Blue Max
bought it. He didn't even hesitate.
No, because that's a boat that there's no neglect on it. All you can see is love, and just the bulbous front end, the extended rear. The guy just put $20,000 solar system on it, put brand new air conditioner in it,
brand new canvas.
The teak decks were done.
New battery system.
All new batteries and everything, and just maintenance after maintenance after maintenance after maintenance done on the boat. Just spent like the last 3 or 4 months just a complete refit of the boat.
Hardcore too.
Yeah, hardcore, just refit of the boat, spending tens of thousands of dollars. And you can tell when you walk on a boat like that compared to and I'm just going to use Southern State here as I'm not saying that me and Pete have neglected it. We could do more to keep it up. We keep our engine room pretty well spotless, but the outside, it's just not even that it needs paint, but I can start to tell that up around our top, our fly bridge needed painted when we bought the boat.
Yeah.
So that needs a coat of paint rolled on it. It needs, and then we were talking about it today on the ride back from Key West. That next year we're gonna have to grab a couple of gallons of white paint and just
start working it.
Yeah, start working each area and repaint.
And we got one little section, but we got to put the new lid on that. So.
Yeah, the new lid on the lazarette here. But these are all maintenance items that we did this year. We've added air conditioner, we put a new wash machine in, so we spent a few $1,000s with those upgrades. Mm-hmm. But even so, it needs a new radar. You know what I'm saying? It has to have a new radar. It has to have a chart plotter. And so, like when he went out and looked at that boat, it just had all the original equipment on it, and none of this stuff was upgraded. Guy wants $189,000 for it, and he goes, Jesus, can you even imagine? Because then it just immediately upon buying that boat, it needs $50,000 worth of work.
Yeah,
easy.
And that's if you do the work.
Correct. Yeah, there's not necessarily at $50,000. Probably about $25,000 in parts and about $25,000 in labor.
Yeah.
But that's what it needs immediately upon purchasing that boat. And so I can say this over and over again. We were talking to our brother who's selling his house right now, and a lot of these, like the houses and the boats that are on the market right now, if you've taken all of the value for somebody out of the house or out of the boat, there's nothing really to buy. You know what I'm saying, Pete? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
it just transition to a buyer's market, not a seller's market.
Yeah, and so and if you've sucked all of the value out of the boat and there's no value there, like if I'm going to pay full buck price, is another thing that I'm noticing. I'm seeing this.
Yeah. Now remember, during COVID, everything was selling above book or higher, so everybody's high.
Yeah, they bought high. Now it's time to sell,
and there ain't no high.
Yeah, because I'm seeing also like Michael Jackson down in California. He just looked at we just looked at a Pacific North. This boat is like a $320,000 boat. During COVID, that boat would have been $420,000. Pulled the buck on it, was $312,000, and the boat was listed at $312,000. Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
So these brokers that don't understand the buck, they're starting to understand the buck now. Because poor William, man, he's surveyed 2 Sea Rays now, and he's just not having any luck because it's all neglect. It's the engine room neglect. It's the the boat needs. This guy's asking like $180,000 for this 2000 Sea Ray 45, and the boat just needs so much work. I told him, if you buy that boat, you're going to put $50,000 into it. It needs ACs. It needs 3 brand new air conditioners. None of the air conditioners even worked for the survey. You know what I'm saying? The engines all needed all new hoses. Each engine.
It doesn't end either.
No, yeah. The aftercoolers needed to be done on them. So just each engine would be well over $10,000. So that's $20,000 right there. And then he needs the 3 new air conditioners. Let's just put a number on that of $5,000 a piece. That's $15,000. So we're at $35,000, and we have not touched electronic. We haven't touched anything on the boat. Nothing on the boat at all.
Yeah.
And so, and just about every one of these boats need that, except a boat like Blue Max, you know, where you could literally step on Blue Max and just take off and head to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
You just turn the key and head to the Bahamas.
Put groceries in there.
Yeah, groceries. Fill the water tanks.
Yeah.
Fill the diesel fuel tanks.
Yeah.
You know, you got new fuel tanks, a newer engine. You know, the motor was put in 2011. You know, just motors wear out, parts wear out, parts need to be replaced. Who pays for those parts? Is it the old owner or the current owner? Do you know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna buy these parts for these boats.
Yeah.
And the boats in the market today that have value still sell today.
Yes.
The boats with no value, that all the value's been sucked out of them, and they're priced right, those boats sell pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah.
They really do. So, anyway, I hope you guys are, especially beginner boaters, are finding these videos useful.
And I'll tell you this: it's a frustrating, long,
very
hard process, and by the time you've paid for your third survey, you start to, that's where the frustration really sets into what I see with the
I think
guys
like
too.
2 or 3 surveys in, you just don't know what to do anymore.
You're so ass whipped.
Yeah, you just you almost quit doing surveys, but you can or you can't. I mean, we bought Southern State without a survey.
Yeah, we kind of.
And we kind of just took a chance, threw the dice, rolled it at it. Harold bought the Bristol without a survey, and Blue Max was bought without a survey. All three of these.
Blue
boats.
Max didn't have a survey.
It had a survey, but it was a survey that was done within the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So so you could use that for insurance. You couldn't use it on the Bristol, so he had to get a survey. We had to get a survey for insurance, and actually I think Southern State did okay on its survey I didn't see anything that was that killed us on it. So anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Like I said, week 75 here. Next week, we'll get into let's talk about boat maintenance. What should be done on a boat before you would start one of these big journeys or something, whether it's America's Great Loop or the Bahamas or something like that. We'll break it down for you guys and really talk about what needs to be done for the boat for that, especially since we're finishing up the loop on the Saturday series, and then we're going to head over to the Bahamas. Let's do that next week, okay? Jim?
Yeah, I like the Bahamas is definitely need to have a discussion about that.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, peace out. Thank you guys so much
Hey,
for
guys.
watching. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.